Hello, we are on the final round, hosted by myself, Stephan, Bonnar, alongside One Kick Nick, and presented by BitcoinDirect.com. Today, we have a couple special guests, one of them joining us later. The last WEC light heavyweight champion, Steve Cantwell, will be in studio. Is he going to make a comeback? Or is his current business doing so good he doesn't even feel like it? We'll find out. But also in studio, we got Scott Kent, promoter of Lion Fights, and you guys had quite a card this weekend on Access TV. That's a great channel. They bring you some good kickboxing. I believe they bring the Glory event.
No, they're doing, they do RFA, they do Legacy, and they do CES out of the East Coast. So they've got 3 MMA promotions and then Lion Fight.
And you guys are the only kickboxing.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh, I swear they used to do Glory.
I think Glory did a kickboxing show once, but no, as long as I've been there, Access TV has been Muay Thai.
Weren't they touching on, they were touching with Legacy fights at one time?
Yeah, I think Legacy did it one kickboxing show, and I know Spike had Glory for a bit.
But when Lion Fight steps on the scene.
That's right.
They did that Bellator where they mixed the Glory in with it.
Yeah, I saw that. They mixed, Bellator did an MMA show with a Glory in the same arena. Or with, the kickboxing show in the same arena, correct?
No elbows, no knees. I mean,
right. Not Muay Thai.
Knees, That's not Muay Thai.
It's not the real stuff.
Let's not get confused.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you can't grab the head and tie clinch or dump people on the ground. That's what I like about your fights. Lion Fights, true Muay Thai. You could catch the leg, throw punches, kick the other leg out. Yeah, it's true Muay Thai. There's elbows, knees while you're holding on. How is there anything different between Thailand's Muay Thai and your Lion Fights?
No, essentially the rounds, the times, everything is the same, with the exception of betting during the fights in Thailand, which they do with the live events.
We do that here. So.
But we're
you and your friends.
I know.
Studio,
I've seen you guys, but
that's what the whole first round's about.
Yeah.
Stuff, letting people place their bets. That's why the Thai fighters really don't fight too much the first round. Right. They kind of try to establish dominance subtly and give the fans a chance to place their bets.
And I think that's the adjustment that Thai fighters have had to make when they've came to the U.S. and fight, because a lot of the U.S. and the European fighters will start from the opening round.
And
they'll go at it.
Thais are like, what are you doing?
Still the first 3 rounds, and then they get, by the time the Thais get started, they're already too late.
Yeah. Even on our last card, you saw the Thai fighter starting slow, and even though he's living out of Australia, he grew up in Thailand, still trains in Thailand, but he was very cautious the first 2 rounds.
And your fights are 5 rounds, correct?
Yeah, 5 minute, five 3-minute rounds, right? And
he's talking about Tom Sityatong. That's a gym I trained at in Thailand. I used to call it Sityotong until I first day there was lost and trying to find the gym, and I was asking people, "Where's Sityotong?" And no one had an idea what I was talking about.
Right next to the massage parlor.
One guy said, "Oh, you mean Sityatong?" I'm like, that's what I was saying. You got to pronounce everything perfectly, or they don't understand you there. But anyways, Tom Sityatong has over 100 fights. He's fighting Bonnar. He's 8-0. And I think the moral of this lesson, or the lesson of the story, however you want to put it, is when you're 8-0, don't fight a Thai with over 100 fights. That's maybe a little too much too soon.
Go ahead.
What about his fight before? Did he have over 100 fights as well?
Yeah, he fought Kornpet, 100 fights as well. And you got to remember, in Thailand and in Europe, they count amateur fights. It's all included. Whereas
it's actually kind of only 100 fights. That's most of them are around 200 at that age.
Yeah.
By the time they're fighting overseas.
I was just speaking with the trainer for Nong O and Sam A, and these guys have 350, 450 fights. So.
Do you think they're burnt out by that time?
Sometimes they are. In their late 20s, they're spent. It really depends on what their fighting style is. We brought Yodson Clay over. He's fought for us three or four times. And, he's starting to feel, I think, kind of the effects of fighting all those years.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I've seen some of your fights where you brought the Thais over and they just look amazing, and they just kill these guys with elbows. But I noticed a big difference when you don't bring the ties, but you use the ties from America. Seems like they just kind of aren't as sharp as the fighters from Thailand.
Well, you've trained there. Both you guys have trained there, so you know how good these guys. Training 3 times a day. They're living, sleeping, drinking this. So, and it's their culture. It's their national sport, so they take a lot of pride in it, and especially when they're fighting foreigners. And to come to the U.S., we do have some transplanted Thais who fight here. Joe Nadawat, who fights for us, he's been an amazing fighter. He got beat by Reagan Ursel, but he went up 2 weight classes to fight him. And Reagan is, the top guy in his weight class in the world. So, we've been able to bring in addition to developing the U.S. talent, we're bringing in the top Muay Thai fighters in the world, both female and male.
Now, you had 4 title fights on the card, which is, I think, a new record. But 3 of those 4 fights were girl fights. What's up with that? Like, the women are pretty much running the show in lion fights. Is that the case?
Building the women and sending them out.
Well, I think they need a stage as well. We were always committed to doing a lot of female fights. We kind of got away from that for a bit. We were actually just going to do 2 fights, and then Antonina Shevchenko's opponent pulled out in the last fight because of a medical situation. So we added her to the card. She'd been training for 8 weeks, so we ended up with 3 female world title fights. And, Jarina, 43-0, best Muay Thai fighter and female Muay Thai fighter in the world, beat Chris Cyborg, destroyed Chris Cyborg. We had him on Barlow, 85-3 from England, a huge European star, and we were able to bring in Antonina Shevchenko.
Who is that destroyed Cyborg?
Jarina Bars.
Jarina Bars, who
Bars.
defended her title against Whiteley on this card, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
I did not know that. I got to look that fight up. So she fought Chris Cyborg, the MMA superstar, in a lion fight, kickboxing match, and absolutely destroyed her.
At the Hard Rock in Las Vegas. Yeah.
With elbows and knees, huh?
Elbows and knees.
Did it go the distance?
It went the distance, but I think Chris was knocked down twice in the event. And, here's Jarina Bars. You look at her, she looks like a schoolgirl. She had her glasses, and you're at the weigh-in, and Chris Cyborg is just, probably the baddest female on the planet, at that time.
Yeah, no doubt.
And Jarina stepped in there, and it really took people by surprise, and it really got a lot of people in the MMA community talking about it, too.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yes. So do you feel like you've reached a world-class promotion now? I mean, as far as becoming world renowned and known?
I just read an interview Michael Chiavallo did. He was back in Australia, and he was talking about Muay Thai in Australia. And he said, for years everybody talked about fighting at Rajadam Stadium, Lumpini Stadium in Thailand. He said he goes back there now. Everybody's talking about fighting for Lion Fight in the U.S. And I think from the very beginning we've tried to bring in the Yodson Klais, all of these great international stars, and it's really starting to pay dividends. Now, not just in the U.S., we're working with a group in England, Muay Thai Grand Prix, we're working with a group in Australia. So Lion Fight has really become the premier international brand for Muay Thai.
You really can't go wrong putting ties on the card, especially if you want to display the art of Muay Thai, of what true Muay Thai is all about. And there's a lot to choose from. I think it's a great idea. I love each card at least put 1 or 2 ties on there. They really show what the sport is about. They're class acts too, and technically they're on another level. They're really, sometimes like anyone, you get caught, but technically they're so sound, and I love watching the Thais fight. They enjoy it in there. They have fun. You see them a lot of times land something and laugh and smile. Really entertaining. I love being in Thailand, going to Lumpini or Rajadamnern and watching the Thais fight. It's great that you're having them on the card. Taking a little break, but we'll be right back.